All right, 5 o'clock on a Monday. Let's do this. Let's hit the books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips. I'm merely Brad Powers. Before we recap Conference Championship Week, before we get into some early bowl bets and some early stuff that we're looking at, transfer portal, coaching carousel, you name it. Before we get into all that, got to remind everybody, in case you've been living under a rock for the last 3 months, Hit the Books has a sponsor. You might have heard of them. They're called FanDuel. And you can make every moment more this college football season with a win on FanDuel, America's #1, numero uno sportsbook. Love FanDuel. They were one of the first to market. No surprise when it came to the bowl games, just like they've been first to market with pretty much everything in college football this season. And right now, all customers can get a profit boost for any wager on the big game this weekend, whether it's Army, Navy, or, we'll see. Well, I'm sure they'll have maybe another game in mind come Friday. But the Army Navy is the big game this weekend. There's a couple other bowl games, but you can use that profit boost on spreads, live bets, totals, so much more. What you need to do, though, is you need to go to FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1. I said it, numero uno sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer: you must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC. After required, bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg/help.com. Knish, what's happening?
Just ready to, that Christmas time of year, bowl season, baby. Here we go. Excited for the playoff. And excited conference championship week is over. That's that wasn't my favorite weekend of the year, I'll be honest with you.
I wasn't mine either. I think I lost three or four conferences. I had the favorite in the game, needed them for the conference futures portfolio. Wasn't, I just let shit ride. I wasn't going to hedge. Lost them all. So had Tulane. Louisiana was terrible. That was the worst one.
Yep. That one
we went, what'd we go? 3-4. We lost Miami, Ohio. That was another one. Iowa State. Terrible.
Yep.
But what saved the day was our friends in the Kibbe Dome. The Vandals got us a nice FCS winner. So I'm glad we gave that out.
Yeah, I agree too. That was a nice effort there from the the Vandals to get us one. So 3-4, not a great weekend. Full transparency, I agree with you. Had a worse weekend off the show than we did on the show. But you know what? We persevere. We go forward. Yeah, I agree. It didn't have any. The only one, and it was probably after the clip last week, was had a little bit of Arizona State, futures wise, but it was not a great year. I had some Penn State, had some Louisiana as well. Nope. So, hey, what can you do?
What can you do? I got to be conservative. I don't feel like writing Joey Knish and Hitman checks for stuff that I bet 8 months ago. And that's no bueno there. I got to maybe be a little conservative. So, yeah, it was off show, not a good season whatsoever. Any other major takeaways? I thought for second week in a row, Texas better than the final box score.
Yeah.
Should have dominated that game.
Can we... we're coming out hot here. Is Arch Manning not better than this? Like, would he not be better than what you've got on the field with Quinn Ewers and again? And I know, like, box score stats, he doesn't look that, but down to down, some of the decisions he make, I thought he got away with a couple of like lobbed up interceptions Georgia dropped or incomplete. I feel like Texas is elite, elite QB performance away from the national title this year. And I don't know if he's the guy to deliver it. And if Arch isn't better than this, boy, they spent a lot of money to bring in, 2 years you're sitting this guy on the bench. I think he's making, a couple $1 million at least.
What's wrong with your screen? Am I the only one seeing this?
No, what's going on right now?
Yeah. Joey, we cutting in and out here a bit?
Yeah, to say the least, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Your camera is like
already taken over by somebody or something.
All right, hold on. Let's see if we got it. I'm like, you know what? I mean, we're starting out hot. Maybe it's too hot for the camera feed. But where you at? Because I would be upset if I'm a Texas fan right now that after that, because I agree it should have been 21-0 in that game at one point, 21-3. And they let Georgia hang around and then lost it.
Yeah, and it seemed like not only Texas didn't take advantage of opportunities, it also felt like a little bit unbalanced officiating. I agreed with Sark.
Yeah.
I also thought every little ball bounce went Georgia's way, even that final drive that they scored there. I mean, ball bouncing like it's on the ground. And somehow Georgia, there's 3 Texas guys there, 1 Georgia guy. Georgia's guy got it. I got another one. Big Ten championship. I know Penn State was down early. I know Oregon won. Oregon covered. Whew. I did not come away impressed with Oregon. I'm giving up 300 yards rushing, 8.7
Yeah.
per carry. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
they beat them up, in a lot of spots at the line of scrimmage. What'd you think of that?
yeah. I thought both offenses. I mean that was the game of the weekend in terms of watchability. But yeah, if you're especially when it's not a Penn State receiving core that had and they were able to not only the offensive line I thought was but both sides were able to kind of dominate with their offensive line. So yeah, I don't know. There's just not a complete team out there this year. No matter how
No.
many games we go through it, it goes that there's always like glaring flaws for some of these teams. So, but if you're Penn State, you don't hate the draw. If you're Oregon, you kind of, so I don't know.
Oh, I gotta love the draw.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if that was maybe best case scenario for you.
I got one more, and then we'll get to the chat. We got a super chat lined up already. What'd you think of ACC championship game with Alabama's perspective? Do you agree with me that if the game ended after 3 quarters, that SMU was out, Alabama was in?
Yep. I totally, I'm with you. When it was heading towards, or it was in blowout range, I think so. And then that fourth quarter, it definitely gave them a playoff. I'm totally with you. I think that would have flipped it. SMU made it almost like you can't leave us out. Like, with that last second field goal there of like, it would have been such a sham if they get left out. And so, I mean, I thought the committee was going to do it most of the time. And even the way that game was trending, I was like, yep, they're out. But no, credit to them for not giving it up and fighting back. And now you got, I mean, I don't think they're a real contender per se, but you're in the playoff. You got a shot.
Yeah, you got a shot. And who knows? Big game James doesn't always live up to expectation here. And I liked what I saw from SMU in the fourth quarter. I thought if that goes to overtime, I think SMU wins in overtime.
Yep.
That defensive line for Clemson was gassed. They couldn't do anything. So all right, I'm glad that you concurred because boy, a lot of people did not concur in gambling Twitter. Thought I was overreacting to 1 quarter of play. No, I mean, keep in mind, committee wasn't watching football all year. These are like the only games they've watched all season, so they're overreacting. But no, I thought for the most part, I think they got the right teams in. As far as deserving, they didn't get the best teams in, but they never do. I mean, if it was the best teams, you just go to a Vegas power rating, boom, bang. And who cares if teams got 3 or 4 losses?
Of like who would be favored on a new? Well, like that's why we play the. If you want to do that, why even play the sport? Why even play the season? Yeah. So I agree with you. It has to be resume based.
Don't lose to Oklahoma by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I will say we did a little, and Russ, one of our listeners, did a little what the bracket would look like if it was FCS style yesterday, and I appreciate the guys on the team there for getting that together. I'll be honest, they got to change this 12-team format. Like I guess I'm not, maybe 12, the number in itself doesn't kill me. I really don't love this setup here. With the Big 12 or Boise getting the buys, the way it's set up, the pathway for Penn State as opposed to some of these other teams. They have to make a change, and I don't exactly know what tweak they'll do in 1 year to kind of.
Well, I mean, they could do whatever they want. Come on, now the easy tweak is okay. A group of 5, the highest ranked group of 5 champ gets in. All conference champs get in, but let's just seed the teams.
Yeah,
whatever the rankings are, there's your seeds. Boom, bang.
Yeah.
And instead of Arizona State getting the 4 seed, they get the 11 or the 12. Same with Boise. That's how you figure it out. It's so easy, but they'll make it harder than what it needs to be. All right, let's get to the stars of the show. Enough of us. Harrison Cooper, $10 super chat. We appreciate you, Harrison. How about we lower AP to top 15 and begin AP rankings week 4? They'll never do it. There's money involved. You got to sell those TV ratings on those early games. Got to have something to talk about. It will solidify strength of win as better, stronger data point. Well, I agree with that for these committees. think this strengthens all arguments for in versus out. I hear you, but they're not doing it. I mean,
I couldn't agree more, Harrison. There are other very popular shows in the CFB pod sphere that almost every show, which drive like they get the rankings in there for like, and it's knowing some of the people on that show, they kind of have to do it, a company obligated thing. So I agree with you. It is definitely, and like they're already, season ends, they've got the early rankings out. I don't understand. I feel like we're in a little bit of a niche here of, like where the people that watch this show would be like, okay, like we don't care about broad public perception. They're going to keep doing the rankings. So I'm with you, but it is what it is.
They got Texas, Ohio State week 1 next year, LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Florida State, Notre Dame, Miami. Those games get a lot better when you put a number next to their name to start off the season.
Yeah,
you can sell it all off.
Yes.
So they're not getting rid of preseason polls. I can tell you that. Let's get back to the chat, D-Lee. And we again appreciate you, Harrison, for that $10 super chat. D-Lee 23. Brad, can you give your base power rating number for the 4 playoff games? And where do you boys think the game's close? Thanks. They're not too far off now. The one that's still far off is I like Texas against Clemson. That's the one. Yeah.
Whoa.
But I'm gonna wait. I'm not hearing
okay.
People are saying that Clemson's the right side. I don't think so. You like Clemson? I don't.
We might have a head-to-head, a playoff head-to-head.
Well, let's go ahead. I'm okay going head-to-head right now. Let's go head-to-head.
I'm behind now. You got me on Penn State, so I need to make it up. Zach, put it on the sheet.
Put it on the sheet. We're going head-to-head.
Yeah,
I think, again, the last 2 weeks, Texas's box score is way more dominant than the final scores, and I didn't like what I saw from Clemson. I thought they were hanging on for dear life last week.
Hey, listen, I can't get to this Texas team with this kind of margin. Now, again, the one thing that I don't know, and this is be the first time we see it, and again, a little bit of a theory, maybe I'm going too much into narrativeville, is what's the home field advantage going to be for some of these playoff games like that are played, at Penn State, at Texas? To me, like, you're going to get an insane home atmosphere that some of these teams are going to be walking into. With that said, man, I know there was some 12.5 that opened there. I know 11.5 most places. I haven't, and maybe I'm, again, not to overreact to, but Texas's red zone issues with Ewers as the quarterback has kind of, it's just been a constant theme there where I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him as a quarterback. I believe in his ability to finish drives. I don't believe in his decision making in tight spaces. You believe in
Cade Klubnik and Dabo Sweeney.
And so does Jesus. So that, so that's what we'll have on our side with Dabo and the Lord. So I don't know. I just listen. Maybe I'm riding this Clemson wave a little bit too much here, but I think 11.5 is a bit juicy.
All right, there we go. Head to head, starting out the show hot. The other games. Do you got any quick thoughts on the other games? I mean, I bet everyone. Right, numbers that are no longer available, but what about Ohio State, Tennessee? I thought Herbie actually made a good point when he, thinking outside the box. He said things better go well early for Ohio State, or the home crowd will be turning on them. I thought that was thinking outside the box.
That is a good point from a new Michigan man family, the Herbie. Yeah. I see it. He's sharpened his game up already with that. So did bet, honestly, all right, I'm throwing shade today. Friend of the show, I saw out there, C-Dub did some totals, and I was like, man, like where those are some juicy totals. And I thought the totals came high in a lot of the games. So, and I don't want to be like, giving away numbers that are, but I mean, there were some mid 50s on a few of these games. So that was really I would say, of the plays, got in the chamber so far, where the plays I like were under on, basically 3 of the 4 games. The only one I didn't touch was the Tennessee, Ohio State. Sidewise, I don't have it's too strong. I know we're head to head on Clemson, Texas. I would lean Tennessee over a touchdown.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything with the Indiana, Notre Dame, or SMU Penn State. How about you, as far as the sides are concerned?
I took Indiana. It was high as 9.5. I bet over on that. I bet over on that game.
I told our director here, Moretto, that 10 was the buy. He said, "Do you think he gets to 10?" I said, "I'd buy IU at 10." And I never saw
it. It ain't getting to 10. It's more likely to go to 7.
So yeah, that was it. I know the numbers were kind of flying around early, but yeah, no, that dream is dead.
Our friends at FanDuel opened the Buckeye game at 6.5. You know what I bet?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't see much right now. But we got shows to do. I do have an announcement. I got to get with. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I was going to say we have Sean, our guy, Sean Higgs, gifted 20 memberships to people in the chat. So that was 20 people who did not previously have memberships. Now we're able to get memberships. Thanks to Sean.
Higgs, baby.
Yeah. I just wanted to shout that out.
The man. Yeah. How do people claim that, Zally? If you want to.
I believe they just had to click on them as it came up. I think everyone's claimed them there now. But cool. Yeah, just wanted to shout out Sean for doing that. That was pretty awesome. And he said 20 memberships since that is where this playoffs will be in 4 years.
I make it 24 to do the FCS thing. I like the FCS bracket.
I'd be careful what you would. Let's see what this looks like. This is gonna be a gauntlet.
Well, it is a lot of extra games, but
I also think it affects next season. Whoever makes like the championship game, what's your off season? I mean, you're normally into winter workouts, and now you're gonna be like, can you even do winter workouts? I would need a month just to recover.
If you want to, I think that is the direct reason, no matter what people say hardball, like why Michigan kind of faltered this year was that long run. They weren't in the portal. They weren't recruited. They weren't preparing for the next season. And then you win the title, the coach leaves, and now you're 2 months behind. I agree with that. They almost have to, I mean, it'll never happen, but the calendar is a little.
Oh, it's terrible right now. Because you're already you're starting classes for everything's about next year. So Alabama can cry. Or you could take the Pollyanna side and be like, hey, we got a month start to get this figured out and get it rectified for next season already, while Georgia's, players dropping like flies.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know.
Because you're like, right now, I mean, portal's open. Can you imagine having to, if you're running a team where this is now, I mean, where teams are hiring GMs. If I'm a coaching staff, I'm preparing for a playoff game. I can't be out talking to, Miller Moss and be like, hey, kid, come on here. Come on to campus.
Have you seen it before? There's Georgia players jumping in, guys that have played.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You can't just wait. If you're a guy that's not playing, can't be like, oh, well, I'll, in 3 weeks after the season's over, I'll jump in. So, yeah, this calendar.
God, it's broken.
It really is. It needs.
I don't know what the fix is. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I have all the answers. I don't know. Benjamin Rash, 1999 super chat. We appreciate you. Thanks to the Idaho Martingale Party Saver play. Chance any SDS early lines pretty available. Yeah, they are. I bet one is all. I bet South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. I made the game pick. So, but it was much higher. Have you done anything with the other ones?
No, I was in the. I'm in the.
UC Davis. We should have gave out. We should have gave out 5 FCS plays. That was my best FCS week in 6 weeks. Last week. What? I think I only lost one bet.
That I don't know how much I can. That UC Davis total staying under. That cost Joey K. That cost Joey K about a new Cadillac. So yeah, that was a tough. Because I agree, we had some little parlays around.
You're getting down on FCS games.
Well, we had parlayed round robin in a bunch of days. So on the slate, and I agree, the slate went, but then that total 30 was 38 points at half. Can't get it over 52.5. So yeah, that.
Oh, no good. Jerry Gastello. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. New member. Benjamin's now a member. Appreciate that. And again, Sean, thanks for gifting all those memberships.
Just so we know, what's the member benefits here?
So one of the things that we had happen is we like everyone obviously participating in the show while the show is live. We were finding that because I scheduled a show earlier in the day, not 1 minute before, there was far too many questions that were piling up and people just didn't get to ask anything. And then stuff that was happening during the show wasn't really relevant to what was being asked. So what we did is I set it up now. I mean, peek behind the curtain, but we set it up now and turn it on membership only for about an hour before the show. So if you have a membership, you can go in there and ask your questions. Those are typically the ones that I get to first. And then 5 minutes before the show, we turn off memberships only. And then the rest of the questions pile in. But that's kind of our way of just slowing things down a little bit. I mean, that's the honest answer. Like, we're not trying to like hoodwink or anybody or put anything behind a paywall, but some of it is like, I mean, Powers, Knish, I know you guys like answering questions from the chat. So
but yeah,
it just gets too much. Like there's too much for all of us.
Start the show with like 100 questions in the queue.
And then it's like we're getting to like 25.
You don't get your question answered. So yeah.
Yeah. So we just did that. That's kind of what it is. Then obviously just to have a little bit more fun with it. I'm not trying to take up your time here, guys. Sorry, just to explain as well.
It's a Zach Attack show.
The other people, if you're on YouTube, you get access to some like stupid little emojis that I made that are custom of Knish and Powers. Some, when Powers did the wind horse hands, Knish grabbing his head. There's some Harbaugh stuff. There's some Ryan Day things. Like there's some other fun stuff like that just to add. I did. It's just kind of some less fun stuff to add, but that's the honest answer of what we did and why we did that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What's the dishonest answer? I'm that is Zach. Might get more of Zach because announcement. I might not be able to do next Friday's show, and maybe even all the next weekend.
You going to Army Navy again?
No, not this weekend. I'm good this weekend. It would be for the playoff shows. I know there's going to be must watch, but I'm going to be MIA.
Where are you going?
I'm a double dip. Another show is paying my way to go to South Bend and Columbus.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean,
we'll have to
apparently we need to get the budget up around here.
Yeah, the overlords are not going to be happy. Moretto, Pizza Man, FanDuel, BetStamp, Zach Attack, you. I know that's going to hurt the contract negotiations with me, but announcement. So we'll have to figure that out. But that happened yesterday.
Moretto. So. No, Chuck, so you don't want that. It won't be Moretto. We might get it. I got some ideas that we can get to fill in and not him.
Yeah. All right. Charles in the chat. Tough one getting wrong with Bama, SMU. Yeah, that sucked because I think Bama to make the playoffs like Monday last week was a really awesome bet. I lost. Really shocked they made the right call. What's the funniest whining you have seen from fans that got left out? Are you firing on any bulls yet? Almost all of them. So, you give me the right number, I'll bet anything. I didn't really look at the fans. I'm an idiot, Alabama fan. This is before even the show yesterday was like, oh, Alabama's getting in. I'm like, well, dude, big talk. Just bet it because they're 5-1 right now. Looks like you've got a great opportunity to make a lot of money according to you. Because right now they're not getting in, bud. But
I agree, and that's kind of I think every fan base outside of Bama pretty much knew they were out, kind of going into the day. So I don't know if it'll be like that every year. But it was one of those, just the way things worked out. It was just like, you knew it was coming down to basically, SMU, Bama. So if you were, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Miami, the rankings were already there, and, so you weren't playing any games. So it's like, we're smoked. So
did you bet any of the seeds? I thought it was kind of free money. In, out, seeding. Did you bet like who's going to be the 5 seed, the 6 seed, 7 seed?
I did not. I should have gotten a little.
Yeah, I should have made phone calls. I made some phone calls, but I guess in the state of Ohio, it wasn't up. Maybe it wasn't. Michigan was maybe the same. The only one that could be bet was SMU in or out.
Yeah.
I did bet that.
Some of the seeding though, so.
All right. Matt in the chat. We talking Bowls. Raiola rumors legit. Have you heard that? He's gone. Wanted to back BC anyway. Also tell me why SMU can't win in Happy Valley. 20 degrees. No, I'm just I need 10 to bet SMU in that game. I don't know if we're ever going to get there. I didn't know the Raiola stuff. Did you see that? It's not surprising.
I mean, it's a guy who literally transferred every year of, his high school career. I don't know. I would be kind of surprised if, they hired a new OC. They're paying him a bunch of money. His uncle's on the staff. I don't know. I did bet.
What else could you do? Other than that, it'd be, I would say addition by subtraction. Get him out of there if he doesn't.
I agree. Like we're getting to a situation, and Michigan's trending this way with this situation is like these high profile quarterback recruits are kind of like making your decisions for you in some cases. So I agree. Did
Michigan go 40-3 like that? Just asking you. I know you guys are spending money now. Did Harbaugh need $10 million to buy one quarterback? Why wasn't he recruiting Underwood for a couple years? He's too busy winning football games. So you better not lose sight of that, buddy.
I agree, but
I'm letting you know.
Is
Ohio State doing a good $30 million roster? Is Ole Miss where's Ole Miss at with all the money they spent?
I'm with
Where's
you.
Miami at with all the money they spent? Sitting at home.
But here's what I will say to counteract that. You got to have a really good football coach to kind of do that. If you were Nick Saban or Jim Harbaugh, you didn't need to spend as much in NIL as some of those other schools to get the results. Jerome Moore ain't no ain't no Jim Harbaugh. I'll tell you that.
Well, help him out. Get him some good assistants. Jesus.
What? Well, I tell you what. I think you know who the leader in the clubhouse is right now for the OC job.
Who is it?
Your guy in Toledo.
Oh, yeah?
Jason
Well, I think
Campbell.
he'd be a decent OC. He's been wanting to get out of there forever.
And I think this might be the
the
names I heard.
I don't think that's terrible, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
He's been wanting to get out for a while. Yeah. And see, he could help Sharon more with, some of the coaching stuff. I mean, I think he's a terrible head coach, but I think that's okay hire.
Okay.
Who else is in the mix?
And I know they're talking to Craddock at Tulane. A guy on the Lions staff who's probably going to be the next Ben Johnson's replacement, the Tanner England. He was a grad assistant at Michigan.
I think you need experience, man. You got to lean on experience.
Yeah, I agree. I don't love taking just a pro. You know who they had actually reached out to? I can't believe this, but this was per Sam Webb, was Scott Frost before he took the UCF job.
What do you think of that hire?
I'm a Scott Frost. I'm a Scott Frost guy. With that said, I would have maybe liked to see him at a different place or as a coordinator before getting right back to UCF. I don't know if that. We'll see. I'm rooting for him, but I hope he's got some of the stuff in his personal life straightened out from what the rumors were at Nebraska.
Yeah, they were not good, the rumors. I mean, I heard they were very specific enough that I had to believe them, to be honest with you, how specific they were. But yeah, I don't like that hire. I know you don't like the Belichick stuff. That's terrible.
Okay. I can't believe it took us 30 minutes to get. Yeah. What are they think? I can't believe that's. I thought he was going to announce it on the McAfee show today. I thought it was going to be like announced, but what are you thinking? What if you're a UNC fan? I'd be maybe some of the casuals are like, oh, it's Bill Belichick. Like, when is like the love?
I wasn't even impressed with what his son did at Washington this year.
No. And now he's gonna, and it's like, you're gonna commit to then his son being the coach in waiting. You're gonna bring in Matt Patricia. You're gonna bring in all of these Belichick losers that like he wouldn't for some reason get rid of. That's gonna be your staff at 72. A bunch of guys that haven't coached in college like ever or in 50 years.
Not good.
I don't know. When you just fired a 74-year-old guy who didn't have it anymore.
That's a good job. Go get a young guy out there, recruits. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I got a good hire. I'm surprised he took the job because I thought he'd get a better job. That's about as good as Purdue can do.
Oh yeah. What? Okay. And is that it had to be just a Big Ten budget thing?
Salary.
Yeah. Like UNLV camp. You think he brings over some of the guys from UNLV?
I think so. I know a couple of the assistants will probably interview for the UNLV job. They'll try to keep that going, but I don't know. I would think that some of them guys are coming with him.
Yeah, and I think Tim Elbin, one season ruins my life at Ohio. Now the Charlotte job? Can that really?
Can't believe you took that. But I've heard that that's a sleeping kind of
That's what they
giant
said.
there in the
Sleeping
group of
giant.
5.
They want to spend some money. They got some money.
That's a good hire for them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a grown adult coaching. Boy, how about their performance? Oof. I mean, people, well, what happened to Ohio, Miami, Ohio game? I said, well, Ohio played by far their best game of the season. And then Alvin comes on there. He's like, hey, I've been here 20 years. That's the best we've ever played. So that's what happened. He literally said that in the post game. He said, this is the best game we played in 20 years. So, all right, let's get back to it. Ryan, am I crazy to think that ND is live against Georgia? I feel like that point spread would be shorter than people expect. I totally agree with you.
Well,
I'll give you one. I would not be. You want a hot take? I would not be. Well, it depends on how Notre Dame looks against Indiana. But say they win and cover against Indiana, look relatively impressive. I would not be a bit surprised and Beck's out.
Yeah.
Pick them or Notre Dame favored.
I mean, because Gunnar Stockton looks like you're like the third string walk on that you got off. I mean, he's like 5'7" going out there. And I mean, I'll give him credit. He didn't lose the game. He took a shot at the end of that game. I thought he was dead. Like, I can't believe I thought he was like concussion for sure. But so I'm not going to question the kid's toughness in terms of though, like winning playoff games. Good luck with him. Because I agree. I think Beck and some of the stuff is like still getting tweeted out as I think
I don't think he's playing.
No.
I mean, I don't know if he's not playing the Notre Dame game, I don't think. Well, the Notre Dame Indiana winner, I should say. I don't want to jinx it. Action Sports Central. Isn't Georgia Southern the quintessential motivation bowl play? Team on a roll versus one with coaching change. Yeah, I bet Georgia Southern, but that was 4 or 5 points ago.
Yeah, same.
So I know nobody wants to hear this, so I'll just say this. This is going to be true for any year moving forward. There's a coaching change, bet against that team in the bowl game. Just immediately when the line comes out, bet against the team that's making a coaching change.
And I agree because, this is some of the thing that we're doing. Like, it used to be, maybe the fill-in coach, but now coaching change
means
you
portal.
might lose the whole team.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who's going to play? You have nobody that's committed to then sticking around to that. So
that's just what the market does. So, I mean, if you want to get in front of it, there you go. Moving forward, do that. We're not done with coaching changes. So there's probably going to be a couple more that happening. So that's what I can take away. But am I laying it now? I don't know. I'm probably lean that way. I don't know how Sam Houston's state keeps up. They keep pace?
I don't think so.
Big Stu USC. That's a good question. Power ratings say Indiana and ND should be competitive. I agree. Power ratings lean Indiana for me. Eye test doesn't. I agree with that. Indiana didn't move the ball against Ohio State. Value at -140. Joey, good job there. How can they move it against ND? Yeah, I'm really struggling with Indiana's strength of schedule because they played 2 top 30 teams in my power ratings. The Michigan data point wasn't good, and the Ohio State data point wasn't good at all.
No.
So I'd go either way.
I know, big. I tell you, if we see, I don't know if we'll see. At 6.5, I'd be in at Notre Dame. I'd probably bet 7 just to have. So again, not massive bets, but I kind of lean with your way of thinking. With that said, Signetti with a bunch of time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree.
Really good staff. It's a Notre Dame team that I don't think margin wise. Do I love them getting it against a competitive team? I don't know, but I lean that way. I wouldn't play. I need at least a 7 though if I'm gonna think about Notre Dame.
I need 6.5 to be honest with you.
Okay.
Eat that. Thoughts on Tennessee plus 7.5 and under 47? Yeah, at the current, I could only lean Tennessee under. Weather. Let me check weather. Let's see what weather is next week. That'll play into the games. You got any thoughts on that?
That's the one I might actually be leaning a little bit over. Ooh, I tell you what.
Ooh, all right.
I tell you what. If Chip Kelly and Ryan Day come out with any type of game plan that involves sticking to the run against that front, I would I mean, if I'm a fan, they'd have to be like arresting me to keep me from like getting them off the sideline. And knowing some Columbus Buckeye fans, that you might actually have some of that people. So this has to be.
There is.
Yeah, I know.
I was off of High Street. If you're familiar with Columbus, that's their party bar street. There was like, this is for the spring game. There's like 40 cop cars lined up. I'm like, what are they? Is this a riot squad? What's going on? It's a spring game. I could not believe it, man. I'm like, whoa. I'm not exaggerating. 40 cop cars like lined up for like security purposes. It's a spring game. What's there to be? What's going on here? I mean, you saw how they handled the Michigan situation. They're ready, man.
I was gonna say, yeah. I think Tennessee. I like it with their shot play. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning over in that one, but I'm gonna let, as you said, need to check weather.
Yeah, let's check weather.
Dog might be live in that one too.
Rocky Top. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! There we go. Dynasty things. With Carson Beck out, Penn State or ND are sleeper national champ picks. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I think one of my guys bet some Penn State today.
Yeah, I saw that when that came out. There were Notre Dame and Penn State took money in the futures market today.
Yeah, because you're right. You're right. If Georgia isn't good themselves, then one of them, you know what, has the. It's funny because it's tough looking at either of these teams and being like, that's a national championship team, but
I can say it for about everybody.
Right.
It's so like, this is it.
Yeah.
Boise to make the playoffs cashed. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That was one of our off-season bets that won. I forgot about that. That did win. Was that like 5-1, 6-1? There we go. Guy S is JMU the right side. Yeah, I think so. Bet that one. That was a bad opener.
Yeah, that was.
Anything under 7, I think, is worth a bet.
Yeah, I think their quarterback hit the portal, though, didn't
he? He did? The Alonzo Barnett kid?
Let me make sure.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'd have to double circle back on it, but I just numbers wise, I agree. That one was.
Yeah, you definitely got to check everything. I mean, everything's on the table.
Western Kentucky fell off the map the last month of the season. So,
man, we should have been on Jacksonville State. The hang up with Huff had to get hurt. But here's the thing: if he doesn't get hurt, they probably don't. They're not even in the game to begin with.
Right.
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you another missed opportunity. My dumbass didn't give out Oregon team total over. Damn it! It was over at halftime. God dang it! I've been good on them team totals this year. Son of a bitch. That was a missed opportunity. Brendan in the chat. I'm gonna agree with this one. Maybe we got a bet here. Marshall starting a backup quarterback in the portal. Pennington's kids is gonna start. Is Army a hammer? I'm okay betting Army if you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially
watch Jeff Monken take a job. No, I like Army. I bet Army.
You still like even at
anything under 10? Where's it at now?
9. I'm seeing 9.5.
That's up to you. We need bets. People are watching. They're like, we need bets. We need to get in front of these lines.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus. What happened there? We didn't get that one in, and that ain't Zach's problem there. We did not get that in, right, Zach?
Exactly. We got. I don't know.
No, that was fast. Like that was.
So they are paying attention. Holy cow! All right, is there any 9.5 still available? I don't know if it's widely available enough. Like people, I know there's only 5-6 books up. Yeah, that's the right side though.
Give me a second. I'll get back to you.
All right. I think Army crushes them.
Oh, what do you think? Oh, just for this, this has to imply Navy's quarterback's out, right?
Who?
That this weekend, the Army Army getting the 7 today.
The Navy quarterback's out. Horvath
has to be with the line move today, going to a touchdown.
I don't know. Blue Horseshoe and is down 40 units is on Army. So I don't know. I kind of lean Navy +7.
If you're telling me,
let me get more info on that. Is he out again? I thought the backup looked okay against East Carolina the second half. He's running up and down the field. All right. Spencer asked about the Army-Navy under trend. Feels like a year can go over. Well, he went over last year. Went over 2 years ago, but it went over because of their scores on the final play that put it over. Yeah. I like the under again. We're not dealing with 28.5 or 31, 32 totals like we have the last 3 years. It's 40 under, right? Where you at? You're on over? You want to go ahead?
No, I'm not on over, but I would lean that way.
All right. Under for me.
Alex,
Alex, which side has the most possibility to move of opt-outs hit? Duke, BYU? I think the Duke at Ole Miss game is already kind of priced in. Because that should be, I mean, if Ole Miss was playing, it'd be 17-ish. I hear you on that. I did bet BYU. I think it's all lip service as far as Hunter and playing and stuff.
Oh,
You think he's playing?
I mean, Prime said in an interview they're playing. They're bringing that Miss Peggy lady or whatever on a private jet to go to the bowl game. My guess is they play like a half.
All right. Anything over 3, I'm on BYU.
I'm not
You
gonna
there?
lie, played some Colorado pick.
Oh, you like some? Well, okay, then I hear you on that.
But, I mean, I don't know. This is one that when the news comes out, right or wrong, is going to move significantly.
Massively.
Yeah.
Let's just hope we're on the air when it happens.
Yeah.
Charles saw in the chat, any portal rumblings we're sharing? I haven't even gotten dived into it, other than the known factors trying to make bets.
The only
I'm hearing Quinn Ewers is a name.
I have
Keep an eye on.
You know who's I heard Michigan's taking a close look at?
Who?
For quarterback? What do you think of Billy Edwards from Maryland?
Oh my God, please.
I'm
Michigan team total under. I got another one that if Hugh Freeze thinks Ashton Daniels is the answer, oh my God.
I mean, I think he's better than Peyton Thorne. Maybe not.
Answer to get him to 8-9 wins next year? Oof. Deuce Knight better be ready to go, and he's not. He's too raw. Oof.
All right.
You got another one? Look at you, the Joey Insider.
No, okay. No, but in terms of actual game, I want to see where you're at on this one. Bet to give out. Where you at on Mizzou, Iowa?
I haven't died. Is anybody coming? Is Iowa quarterback coming back or no?
No, I think they're down to like QB3 here.
I know Luther Burden's out.
I like 2.5.
I can only lean Missouri.
Yeah. You wanted to get in at 2.5?
My numbers, I will say, full disclosure, my numbers don't call for it. But if you want to give it out, I'm not opposed.
Jack, fired up. Give me an under 2.5.
Boom, get it in there. Missouri, go, 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 go. Minus 2.5 before they move it 3 points. No, I'm joking. Why would the ACC send Duke to play Ole Miss instead of Syracuse or Miami? Seems like an odd choice. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that would have been a much better matchup.
Yeah,
I'm not. Is there any bowl games outside the playoffs you're really excited about?
Oh man, you want to talk about thank God they have gambling for some of these games. Yeah,
I mean, I'll say one that I was really disappointed: Georgia Tech Vanderbilt, because I wanted to bet on both.
Yeah.
That sucked. I bet Vanderbilt there. There's not BYU Colorado will be fun if the Colorado players play. Alabama Michigan to get a good idea of who can play for next season.
I gotta tell you, I mean, that was one I know. I mean, they were on top of it. Was really hoping to bet some Bama in that one, but man, it came rich.
It did. I was hoping single digits.
I feel like, especially with the upper tier Power 4 programs, like these bowl games, if you're not in the playoff, are going to be like borderline exhibitions.
Yeah. I guess that's the only excitement I have is I'm already treating it for next season. I'm going to watch them for next season. Who can play, who can't play. But as far as this season, I'm not even going to touch teams' power ratings much. Season's over for a lot of these teams. Arthur in the chat, lapping up the tears of SEC fans today has been amazing. Yes, canceling your tough non-conference games will surely save you from losing to 6-6 teams. Clowns talking about Alabama. Anyways, Buckeyes minus 7.5. I'm not there on the Buckeyes. My trust in Ryan Day is completely gone in a big game. Gone.
You would think that this would be a spot, like the bounce back spot of all bounce back spots.
Oh my God. You think they'd been ready for Michigan?
Well, I just can't get. I need a better price on. If you're going to give me some Ohio State,
I did bet him though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you give me 6.5, then I'm in on Ohio State.
Alex, we hit you. Army is 9.5 too rich? It's not. Marshall's going to be devastating the portal. Boy, everyone asked me. They really got on me on that Louisiana pick. Louisiana's quarterback got hurt, and they're down to a third string, and it was just over. So,
yep.
Belichick, we talked about Charles. My buddy Mike, hearing a team offered. I never know if he's. It's always tongue in cheek with Mike. Hearing a team offered Chandler Morris $1 million. It's time to end the portal. I'm guessing that's a joke, or is it true? Chandler Morris $1 million.
I know he hit the portal.
I know he hit the portal too, but $1 million. I'm guessing Mike's joking.
You would hope so, but I mean, they have to do. I don't know what it's all going to change. They have to do something to like get these kids on like multi-year to where if you're going to sign a deal with the pro, like the whole like, and I don't blame them.
I have it back loaded.
It's like the equivalent of if NFL had, if everyone was a free agent after every season. So right. It's absolute chaos. And I don't blame, if you're a kid who's like, oh, I'm making, $200,000. I had a good year. Why would you not throw your name in to see if somebody offers you $1 million, $2 million? So I'm not blaming the kids, but you got to get like multi-year deals or something on to stabilize some of this.
Jacob, couple super chats, $4.99. ND live to win it all. Yeah, I think so.
The path is there. I mean, the path is there, Jake. Like you wouldn't normally think that. And I will say, especially again, one data point, the USC game, I was like, man, they don't look elite in any outside of, Love in that. I don't know what part of the Notre Dame team is like truly elite, but good. That might be good enough for that path. I mean, I think they can get there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think eventually. I didn't bet it though. Jacob also thoughts on the Liberty game. I bet Buffalo. Salter's out. Boy, that's at the end. That's in January. That's already next year. What team? I think Buffalo will be more locked in.
I didn't do anything.
They're bad, but I mean, who's going to play for Liberty?
I don't know. I mean, where do you think? I don't have I didn't bet the game. I got a gun to my head with lean Buffalo. I think it's one that, a month away, you'll kind of have to see a little bit more who's actually going to suit up. Salter was
January 4th.
Yeah.
So again, I just was trusting that Buffalo won't have as many guys hit the portal as Liberty. And Salter's already gone.
And I feel like Salter missed his money window last year after last season.
What an idiot.
This season.
He sucked.
Yeah.
The whole team sucked this year.
I know. I don't know what kind of a downgrade it is. We'll see who they're playing, but man, yeah, it was brutal.
Got a few more here, and then we're gonna call it a show. Zach Attack's got other shows, other priorities. He said, I got a hard out.
I might be with Rocco here on this one, because that's another one where they on a fate. I think the Miami guys, at least Cam Ward was on that call with Deion Sanders or Shadur Sanders, and he's like, no, we're playing, which makes me think it was probably part of his deal.
So playing? You think they're gonna play?
That's
what lines are super short if they are.
Listen,
I need more info, man. I'm not getting burnt.
I bet Miami. I'll tell you that.
You want to give it out? You want to give out Miami?
I mean, we could get burnt, but Rocco knows his gains.
I don't want it. You want to bet Cristobal? Holy fuck, you're crazy.
I just think, I mean, if you let's just say, what's the line on Miami Iowa State if this was not?
It's 6 or 7 at least.
So
all right, let's bet it. Let's roll.
Zach, lock it in, baby. Give me those. Give me the U. Listen,
there, Rocco says he knows his gains.
Cam Ward did you see the video? I'll send you the video. He was on a FaceTime with one of the Sanders brothers and said
he's playing.
That he's playing last night.
All right, if he's playing, that's a great bet. That's a best bet.
Now,
there you go.
Here's the thing. It's funny because it's both the Sanders and him. Playing might mean like a quarter or a half, but long story short, what can you do with that? If it comes out he's playing, we're going to get some line value. Then you can do what you want with the bet.
Guy asks, should OU roll Navy? Who's playing for OU? I did bet OU. Somebody they released a stupid number, 6.5. Who was
I mean,
it? Can I get on them? Can I get on our friends? I'll look. It was our friends at FanDuel. Thank you very much, FanDuel. We love you. Thank you for being a sponsor. They opened 6.5. I bet OU. But again, that could be looks good on paper, but then when half the defense is out and they're trying to stop the option,
yeah.
Service academies tend to be play on teams. You would think, extra time to prep for the option. You should bet against service academy teams.
That's the only guy who does that's like PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
Like the one time the option doesn't win. Like there's no, I don't know. I agree. That's one you got to see who's playing. I mean, Arnold's already gone, but that's not a big surprise.
Joe in the chat, Rutgers plus 7.5, Colorado -2, JMU -6.5. If the JMU quarterback's not in the portal like you think, that would be my favorite of the bunch there. Rutgers probably plus the hook there too.
I marinated on that one. I didn't pull the trigger. I would.
Where's it 7.5 at? I thought it was pretty much 7 everywhere.
I thought FanDuel still had 7.5.
Really? Our friends at FanDuel.
Yeah, they do. You want to play 7.5?
Yeah, let's bet it. I'll take the hook there. Are you kidding me? What's Kansas State doing? Nothing. I trust Rutgers. Tougher schedule? Yeah. Maybe not. Somebody's going to say, tougher schedule. Well, I don't know. I guess Rutgers didn't play that toughest schedule this year, but I'll take the 7.5. I liked what I saw from them down the stretch.
I agree.
What's the line if he doesn't call timeout against Illinois and they win the game?
There we go.
Boom. Hopefully we got that in. Hopefully Zach's not, already
prepping for one of his other, his new fancy show. We're talking about Jacob Trouba and other Dave McDavid and the other 3 NHL players I can name.
The next show, first of all, it's in, and second of all, the next show of the day is with Pizzola. So call that fancy show if you want.
Jimmy, yes, Mandy plus 2.5. I lean that way, but let's see if we can get a better number.
Oh, man.
Again, I hate that those two teams are playing one another.
Yeah, that's really.
I was like circling Vandy as one of my bowl games of the year.
Yeah,
but not a great opponent.
No, I kind of lean Georgia Tech in that one.
Oh, do you want to go ahead? No, I don't want to go.
Let's wait to see. We can. Wait
I don't want to. No, I don't want to go head to head there. You know what number I got. So, Richard, can you give us the current coaching changes? Google.com. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like I don't know if he was. I thought he was going to ask.
There's literally 20 of them. We could do a whole podcast. We got the off season for that, Richard. I don't. Coaching changes as in interims for bowl games. Yeah. Again, I mean, I'll give you the ones that are still out there. No. New Mexico hasn't hired anybody. North Carolina hasn't hired anybody. So I kind of lean Connecticut in that game. Ohio hasn't hired anybody. Sam Houston hasn't hired anybody. UNLV hasn't hired anybody in West Virginia. So a majority of those, I have played against those teams in the bowl game.
I will. Okay. I got to tell you. And I know I just spent, 5 minutes trashing North Carolina earlier in the show. If that gets to 2.5 or 3, I'm betting North Carolina. I don't care who's coach. I'll put the Jordan hat on and go out there and you yell at them around. 2-3 versus UConn? What's that line?
Who's playing? Is Hampton and them playing? Come on. But I will say this is in the weeds.
How many players for UConn start on North Carolina? 2?
This is in the weeds.
Okay.
Connecticut had a lot of guys in the portal. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
They had. I got to look and see, but I'm getting. Looks like Castellanos to Florida State. I'm getting.
Oh man, you like Castellano? Like,
yeah.
Is Norvell gonna lose his job after 12-0? That's your guy. That's the man. I don't like
life in the portal. Go out and recruit high school kids. Develop them. Kirk in the chat likes Syracuse -6.5. I did bet Syracuse, not at 6.5 though. Fran Brown says everybody's playing, so I kind of like that. Yeah, I heard Washington State might have a lot of guys enter the portal.
That was of the openers, Kirk, and I don't want to be
you're the one that beat me to that.
Maybe
you like 2.5.
That was quite a number they put up there. Not because, and again, I agree with the Fran Brown, but also Washington State. I think you made it like it's an exodus. So
yeah, I think they're done.
They were down the stretch. It seemed like they were already preparing for the exodus the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, their season ended a month ago.
Yeah,
that's how they played. I mean, they lost 3 straight games outright as a double-digit favorite. No one was as bad as them down the stretch. So, yeah, Syracuse is the only way I look there. Finally, and most importantly, Kyle in the chat, Joey Pucks.
Kyle, I'm not going to leave you hanging, baby. We got, and Zach, you have to jump in to see, we got Wings, Sabres, under tonight.
Double best bet.
Oh, that was on and Edgework doubled the team. I tell you, well, I always got to know. I say Edgework, but I really am hoping
Moretto.
No, unfortunately, got to give credit where credit's due. He's actually been, Did we fire Albert? Is Albert not coming on the show anymore? Like I've been wanting these, Albert fades, and I know.
No, Albert's terrified of giving a bet. He started the season strong, and then it's just tailed, and then all of a sudden, the bets started coming slow. He had one day last week where it was just fire, and I think he went like 1 for something massive, and then that was the end of it.
All right, well,
yeah.
That's the double. Yeah, if you got, there's some juice 6.5 or 6 at plus money. Sabres Wings under tonight. Strong.
Oh. Joey Pucks. Let's recap best bets. Oh, wow.
It's let's okay. A little early folio here.
Yeah, I like it. We're above, I like it. Rutgers, Miami. Hold up. Didn't get recorded? Remember, we gave one out.
No, it was the Army one we couldn't get in.
No. You forget. We gave out a team that was plus a number, and we said it would close.
Yeah, the Memphis. And when I know we locked that in there, it was on the. Huh.
Yeah, I guess it's not in there. It's gone. Fade away. We did. You can bring up the shows. We gave out Memphis.
Oh, that is I tell you what.
So that's the lock of the century.
Yeah, I was gonna say Memphis. Get your alt lines in on that one. So,
yeah. All right. There we go. I think we delivered today. We'll have more when they're more widely available. And I guess they're not moving a point off of one sentence. They don't even lock it. Yep, Memphis as a dog.
Memphis. Well, yes, that's the price. Not anymore, but yeah.
They're favored now. We said, didn't we not say? We said that they'll be favored. All right, I got nothing, man. I know we're closing with a whimper. But you got any final thoughts?
I know what it was with the Memphis one. It wasn't listed in here to track. That's why I can go back and add it retroactively.
Was it not on FanDuel? I bet we bet it.
No.
On
That's Stan. And I can't track it on there with that.
All right, fair enough.
We showed it on the screen. It will be added. Don't worry. We showed it. It was a best bet. I could not track it because it was not on BetStamp. That's why it was not.
Yeah, I know.
Zach. We love you, Zach.
Yeah, and the BetStamp needs to get the rest of the bowl games. I got a telegram with the BetStamp boys over there. I tell them, get it together. You want us to promo on this show? You don't got the bowl games listed yet?
Oh, you know what? Just for that, I'm not reading the BetStamp.
No promo this week. No read this week. You want to read on this show? We made an
executive decision. Get your ass together. You cost us a best bet. Yeah. We're not reading the BetStamp up there.
No free ads.
Market. Our friends. I don't know. And they're friends. They're acquaintances now after that. So is that okay, Zach? I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble next week not doing shows. So
you got any Monday Night Football tonight?
That's all you got to deal with. So,
I got to read it. All right. So
no. Whatever you guys want.
Well, it might be. We might have a contentious because I might not be able to do any shows next. Not this week. Next week. So.
Knish, what?
I was going to say, someone. We special guest co-host here.
Yeah, you'll find somebody. Hey, I have promoted this show, Merely Brad Powers. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Stars of the show are the chat, and then you got producer extraordinaire.
I'll let Mr. Peanut Butter come in.
Yeah, there you go. I did this show. It's probably better. It's addition by. I just said addition by subtraction a bunch today. It's probably addition by subtraction next week. And for that, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, we thank you for all your comments, questions, concerns. Really appreciate you, producer extraordinaire, Zach Phillips. We appreciate FanDuel, our sponsor. You just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel. We'll see you Friday at 5.